I think many people have said to me that you're like an old soul in a young body or something like that. I've always been interested in socio-political issues from a young age, and I suppose this was a natural extension of things. You often hear people saying that the youth are the leaders of the future, but I firmly believe that the youth can be leaders here and now. And I think politics is just another platform for public service ultimately, and it's a platform where we can advocate for things that are close to our hearts and serve the people, because ultimately MPs are the people's servants. When I first met Dr. Chi, I was 17, and he said, look, go out there, go and volunteer. You know, politics is not the only way. Because at that time, of course, obviously you're too young to vote or even get involved in proper party politics. Go out there, serve the community, and in 10 years' time, you will still be very young. And then at that stage, if you want to consider, you can. If I'm voted in, and it's a very big if, because in the coming GE, we know who we're going up against, right? What I hope to do is to champion policies relating to youth, relating to mental health, and of course the cost of living, which does not discriminate. So whether you're young, you're old, the cost of living affects us all. But I think ultimately what we want is a society that's more just, more equal, not just in name, but in substance. So in particular for young people, right? I think if you speak to many young people and you ask them honestly, on a day-to-day basis, would you consider yourself surviving, or are you actually thriving, right? And I think many people would say that honestly they're just getting by. Sometimes it's not just about financials, but you know, the stresses of life, right? The daily commute to work, the pressures they face in the workplace, and sometimes it's just a question of where is all this going to, and let's not even start on, you know, the costs and the mental capacity needed to raise a family. So these are issues that I hope to speak up about more. And a lot of times, I always have been a firm believer that a robust contestation of ideas will lead to policies which are best for the people. So actually, most of my friends are either twice or thrice my age. Yeah. So when we do hang out from time to time, they play a lot of old songs, and that's how I got to know great music like Pink Floyd, Skid Row, Steelheart. And in fact, I am wearing Pink Floyd socks right now. I really feel that that generation of music, I mean, no offense to current artists, but that generation of music had some soul in it, which is very hard to find these days. So a lot of times my go-to songs are from the 70s and the 80s. A lot of people I've spoken to have called me an old soul, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's just a different interest. We mostly speak about politics or football, and sometimes you don't know which one is more depressing. I know this might sound a bit cliche, but I'm actually very passionate about the whole idea of a public contestation of ideas, in a sense where you're trying to shape narratives or change minds. I think there's a lot of value in that. I mean, it can be about anything. It can be about housing policy, it can be about where our education system, the pressures of our education system, and even things like, should migrant workers be transported at the back of lorries? So these things, I find the whole idea of advocating for something and trying to push, shift the needle on things, you know, whether it's the political sphere or the social media sphere, that's something that I can honestly say I'm quite passionate about.